A beautiful Friday afternoon at Shock Stadium on the campus of the University of Central Arkansas, and it is time to crown a 4A state champion. Great to be with you here, Alyssa Orange, alongside Kyle Sutherland. We've got Peridge, we've got Bauxite, we've got a lot happening today, and including this schedule on tap. We've got this game right here on Arkansas PBS between Peridge and Bauxite. Got some baseball on tap as well today. Should be a great day here at UCA for a lot of state championship games. And when you look at Peridge, this is a matchup. They are back here for the second time, still looking for that first state title for them, but they've got a lot of talent here and trying to make up for how everything ended last year.
That's exactly right. And you look at this team that came into the game against their rival Farmington, their former conference rival Farmington, and Lady Cardinals got up 6-0. And then in the 7th inning, the Lady Blackhawks made a massive run and ended up scoring 5 and dang near tied it up. They got really close, but this is a team that's been to the state final for 4 times in the last 5 years. And so I know their senior leader in the circle, Emery Bolin, is really going to want to get one before she plays on this field for her college career.
When you talk about Emery Bolin, let's talk about her a little bit more because she kind of starts and stops this team for Peridge.
Absolutely. She has been one of the premier arms in the state really for the past 3 or 4 years, especially the last 3 years, leading the Lady Blackhawks to this game. They lost to Gravett in 2023 and then, of course, Farmington last year. So she is as driven. I know that you talked to Coach Reynolds, really just her, and not just her and the seniors, but really this team in general that has been here before. They're as driven as they have ever been to finish the job this year.
On the other side of the Bauxite dugout, it is Emma King. She is the star of that team, and for the Miners, they're excited about their third baseman.
Absolutely. You look over on the Peridge side, and most batters are intimidated to see Emery, but maybe not intimidated, but you don't like seeing her in the circle. Well, then you'd flip the script and you look at Emma King there in the batter's box, and that's how most pitchers feel. And that's how they've been really since her freshman year. She's been one of the most feared batters. She can catch, she can play on the corner, of course, being at third base now, but she has really made the Lady Miners go.
This should be a fun one as Peridge is looking for their first 4A state title. Bauxite won it back in 2018, but it is going to be a fun one to see how this one goes out. Today's weather, we had a little clouds earlier this morning, partly cloudy though, but it's a beautiful day here in Conway to crown a champion. Peridge and Bauxite ready to get going. We're ready as well. Softball action right after the break.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by.
Since 1937, the electric cooperatives of Arkansas have been providing power to homes, farms, and businesses across our state. The cooperatives are member-owned and work together to serve Arkansans. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas proudly support high school students and athletics in Arkansas and hope you enjoy watching the state championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports. Better connected together. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
UAMS is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports. UAMS Health provides orthopedic and sports medicine care across Arkansas, supporting athletes and teams throughout the state. Find out more at UAMShealth.com. Winrock Automotive supports Arkansas athletes as a sponsor of the Arkansas PBS Sports broadcast of the high school state championship games. With 7 dealerships across the state serving Little Rock, Conway, and Jonesboro, Winrock Automotive is community-focused and provides vehicle sales and service across Arkansas. We're honored to be a part of these unforgettable moments celebrating Arkansas student athletes. Winrock Automotive, connecting communities through service and support.
Welcome back. Let's get ready to go here as Bauxite and Peridge get things started in this 4A state title game. And here's a look at the Winrock Automotive batting order for the Blackhawks. Lexi Vigil, Haley Wiley, Zaylee Warden, Emery Bolin, Mackenzie Whalen, Hope Conkler, Haley Parker, Abigail Rogers, Ashlyn Short is your lineup. And As we mentioned, this Peridge team looking for that first state title, Kyle, despite being here in 2024, 23, and 21.
That's right. Lexi Vigil has been one of the key components. That's probably why she's at the top of the batting order and been one of the key components over the past couple of years here and slashing 500 plus across the board. And then you look at Bauxite, they're countering with Bianca Batistone, a really good sophomore pitcher that she'll work a curve pretty much any way that you want it to. She'll go backdoor, she'll on the corner of the plate, and also has a really nice changeup as well.
Lexi Vigil, the highest batting average on this Peridge team, batting .525 this season. She's got 42 hits and 12 RBI, a solid leadoff hitter here for the Blackhawks. Takes that strike. Fouls that one off, and you know, we saw this and have yesterday and over the course of this season and over the course of the years, really, Kyle, you know, leading off with speed, with someone in a left-hander that can drag, that can slap bunt, that can really try to just get you that starting runner on base as easily as they can. That's exactly right. And then also too, you're seeing here, I mean, pretty early on, battling at the plate already, and so yeah, that's what they have been known for. That's one of the things. Of course, Coach Rhodes at Bauxite, she loves hitting, so she'll talk a lot about that, being patient at the plate. But that's something Coach Reynolds emphasizes as well. Well, she's battling here. She's putting in the work already as the leadoff batter, doing what she can to try to get on base for Peridge here, and already kind of working up that pitch count. Fouls that one off again. Keystone going to start her first batter with a full count. I love watching Lexi's little routine. Did you play? I had a routine. I stepped out. You know, everyone's kind of got a routine, and she finds a gap. She gets that one over the left fielder's head. She looks like she's trying to stretch for three and does just like that. Battling in the box pays off well. She is standing at third, and Peridge has a runner in scoring position right off the bat here to try to get a run across the board early. I think that will set the tone early, man. I'll tell you, it's really good bat on the ball there that really get it back towards the warning track, and not a much better way to start here than for the Lady Blackhawks than that. Following her now at the plate is Haley Wiley, and she's got 19 RBI on the season, trying to make it 20 here if she can get a base hit and drive in her teammate. Haley Wiley, the starting center fielder. I know that she'd like to hit one out to deep left field, or maybe even a little bit further back behind the fence. Well, she saw what her teammate did and was able to poke that one over the left fielder, KB Jax's head. Maybe she can do it again. And you talk about a home run. She's got 2 on the season and takes this one into the gap. KB Jax cannot get it. That scores a run. And Peridge very quickly on the board here to start things off, a 1-0 lead. And both games that we've had so far in 1A and 5A, the team that scored first ended up winning. So the odds are in Peridge's favor right now. Putting that out there. See what you're doing there, Kyle. But Peridge is pumped up, and that's the way you have to start things, especially here in the afternoon. Just get things going early, like you mentioned, set the tone. And Peridge definitely understood that they're trying to get that title that we've talked about hasn't been able to happen over the past couple of years. And for Boxite, just a quick little conversation at the mound. I think her infielders are just trying to settle her down. As a young sophomore, she's got to settle into this game. Batistone does, but that's one thing about her is she has proven she doesn't get too high, she doesn't get too low. She'll settle in here. This is Zaylee Warden now at the plate for Peridge, the second baseman. Looks at ball one. Pokes this one past the shortstop, Avery Green. That is another base hit for Peridge, and that's what you got to do, string base hits together, and now you've got runners on first and second for Emery Bolin, and we have talked about her as a pitcher in the circle. But she also can do things at the plate as well, Kyle.
That's right, yeah, batting in that cleanup spot, slashing 431, 527, 603, got 18 RBI on the year, so very effective player both in the circle and at the plate. And this is something too, Alyssa, that we haven't seen quite. It looks like they're going to go, they're warming up MJ Birmingham, the senior. She's been throughout her 4-year career, she has been in the circle a lot, and that's one thing that they have used with Batistone this year is kind of just to save MJ for the postseason for moments like this. But that's something that we didn't see, especially early on in the past 2 state championship games with Peridge. They did struggle to hit against Gravett, and so yep, that's what we're seeing here.
All right, we'll talk more about MJ after the break. We'll be right back. Peridge start hot early.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
2 stab wounds. First one's deep. Most likely the fatal blow.
We're assuming that whoever killed Glover raised the platform.
So who in Brokenwood had a motive for murder?
Oh, nearly everyone.
I'm a woman alone, newly arrived in a dangerous town.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app. This month on Arkansas PBS.
Hi, I'm Steve Weldon, inviting you to join me for a fun-filled 3-day hike in one of the most scenic national parks in America.
Now I'm going further, following a route inspired by the Pan American Highway, a system of roads connecting the Americas.
Each week we travel the country north to south, east to west, exploring some of the most exciting gardens.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
We are back here in action, picking up here in the top of the first between Peridge and Bauxite. And MJ Birmingham, we talked a little bit about her before we went to break. She takes over in the circle. She's had 119 innings to her name this season, 95 Ks with an ERA of 2.19, but she takes over, no outs right now, and runners on, it looks like, third and second. Sends that one in to Emery Bolin for a strike.
MJ, you see her wearing her ASU Newport visor. That's where she'll be continuing her college career.
Were you surprised that they made that change in the circle so quickly, Kyle?
Probably so, just to I thought.
Oh, this one they tried to pick her off on third, keeping her honest. They're going to hold off, not try to make the play at home. And now Peridge with a 2-0 lead as Haley Wiley comes in to score.
Yeah, I was a little bit, just because I thought that they might at least try to see what happens through the first inning.
It actually hit her on the back. I apologize.
Yeah, no, yeah, but that's really essentially what we're seeing here is, I mean, I say that's not real. I was going to say they're taking advantage of some mistakes, but of course that was just really an unlucky play for Bauxite right there that once again Peridge took control of. But it looks like some pitches high in the zone here that I think Lexi Childress is having a little bit trouble gathering in, but I think it's just really about calming the nerves right now for Bauxite.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's one of those things, again, you look at the scoreboard and it feels like this could easily snowball. They're just looking for their first out here. Pops this one up foul and out of play, but that's what you have to focus on right now. You've got a runner on third, you don't have any outs, and you just want to kind of get out of the inning, regroup into that dugout, and see what you can do. I mean, you haven't even come to the plate yet. You guys have an offense that you can rely on, too, if you're Bauxite. So just take a deep breath, get through the inning, and try to get back into that dugout.
I've seen MJ go pretty much strictly rise ball here. She'll throw a curve as well. But that was really the first couple of pitches there, just a little bit out of control. It looks like she's way more settled in after a couple of throws.
She's got a full count right now on Emery Bolin, squaring around, trying to draw the pitcher's attention. Pulls it back, pops it up. This one into deep left center field, and that one is gone. She said, see you later, and that is a 2-run home run for Peridge, and just like that, the Blackhawks with a 4-0 lead. Man, we talked about Emery Bolin, and she just basically put an exclamation point on why we were talking about her at the beginning of the game.
That's right, and that was the very first question that I asked Coach Reynolds when I talked to him earlier this week was, do you use, especially last year with the way that game ended, do you use that as any kind of motivation, or do you just leave that in the past and just worry about now? And he said, I've never mentioned it really a whole lot, and the kids haven't either. They just look forward. They worry about themselves right now, and we are seeing as strong of a start as you could ask for from this group right now.
A very impressive start by this Peridge team, and she has 2 home runs on the season, does Emery Boland. There is her 3rd, and it came at a perfect time in the state championship game to help give her team a 4-0 lead. Now stepping in the box is Mackenzie Whalen, the catcher for this Blackhawk team.
Mackenzie Whalen's been just a massive part of what this team has done. She took over for a 4-year catcher in Callie Cooper, so you can imagine that relationship that that Callie and Emery had through the years, and Mackenzie has just really stepped in and done a great job.
Pokes this one fair just down the third base line, past the bag into the corner, will stand up easily at second, and right now it just feels like this Peridge Blackhawks offense is really being able to do whatever they want to at the plate.
And Mackenzie also brought her bat today too for her 4th double of the season.
Still here in the top of the 3rd, and Bauxite still looking for their first out of this game. Mackenzie Whalen there again, sending it into that left field corner. Hope Conkler steps in, the shortstop for the Blackhawks, and seeing if she can continue to keep things going.
Shortstop number 3, Hope Conkler.
Conkler, I know she's at least a 3-year starter. She's been in the middle infield for the Lady Blackhawks for another one of those that have been out there for a while now.
It's 1-0 count early to Conkler. Watches that one go past for a strike. Another one of these batters that bats on the left side of the plate, seeing if they can find some success in the drag bunt, slap bunt, whatever they call it these days. Tries to lay that one down, rolls foul for strike number 2.
At this point, you're on your 6th hole, and Bauxite hasn't been able to record an out yet, so why not just lay down a bunt and just keep advancing the runners? Or at least the runner, singular in this case.
Well, you're just trying to do whatever you can here. If you can give yourself a nice cushion, as this 4-0 lead has already started, to start things off at the top of the 1st, that really helps your defense, your pitcher, step onto the field when it's time for them to get out there and have a little bit more of a comfortable, relaxed, laid-back feeling of that tension. There's the first out as she pops that up to Emma King at 3rd base. Feel a little bit better, a little bit more relaxed with that 4-0 lead. Here's a look at the defense for the Miners. As we mentioned, Emma King at 3rd, Avery Green at short, Kim Smith, London Cunningham rounding out the infield, KB Jacks, Zoe Hicks, Alicia Gardner in the outfield, and MJ Birmingham in the circle. You've got Lexi Childress, her catcher, behind the plate. 1 out now for Bauxite. Haley Parker lays down the bunt. They execute the play out at 2nd, and now Bauxite sees their 2nd out of the inning, and they need one more to get back into that dugout and get their offense going.
5-3 play right there, and Emma King has been key in getting those back-to-back outs.
Number 15, Abigail Rogers.
The designated player for the Blackhawks today, Abigail Rogers, stepping in. She is in the 8 hole, so if she gets on base, Kyle, we will have Ashlyn Short come up, and we have batted completely through this Peridge lineup in this 1st inning.
That's right, and Abigail Rogers did Emery Boland was dealing with some injury issues to start the season there, and Abigail actually was pitching mostly at that time, and that's one to look for in the future, and another player that can fill many roles for this team.
Abigail Rogers now a 2-0 count on her. Here's strike 2.
Bauxite, it goes without saying, they're off to a tough start, but this is a really resilient bunch. They had hit a slump a little before the postseason there, and then just really got hot before the postseason. So we'll see if they continue to just kind of calm the nerves a little bit and start chipping away once they do start batting.
Speaking about playing their best softball at the right time, when you talk about how they got here, beating Lone Oak 4-1, then Gentry 14-0, and Gosnell 5-0 before they made it to this state championship game. So you're right, they've been playing their best softball. This is a very uncharacteristic start for them. These 4 runs, the most they've given in this postseason.
Yeah, and through regional and state tournament play up to this point, they've outscored opponents 45-14. A lot of great senior leadership is a reason for that.
Abigail Rogers takes her walk, and that's going to bring up Ashlyn Short, the first baseman for Peridge, and as we've mentioned, now batting in the 9-hole. This Bauxite team has now seen the entire lineup for Peridge. You mentioned outscoring opponents 45-14, an impressive regional and start to the state tournament, but they are also batting heading into this game 408, and we've yet to see their offense in action, so it's very obviously early in the game in the top of the first, but they're going to look at this and look at that 408 batting average and say, that's what we're relying on. We can come in here and do exactly what Peridge just did.
Absolutely, yeah, there's no question about it. And it's really just about, just chipping away, really. That's what we kept talking about in yesterday afternoon's game. And Benton ended up running away with that one. But, yeah, still tons and tons of game left.
Fouls that one off down the left field line, off the wall. 1-2 count now for Ashlyn. We talked about this a little bit yesterday in the game that we called it for 5A, Kyle, about how this 9-hole header sometimes is almost like a second leadoff, and Short is batting .361, takes this one down the first base line. There's out number 3, and that's going to do it. Bauxite gets out of the inning, but not before Peridge does the damage. It is 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the first in Conway right after this.
Team sports in Arkansas really is the building of character. It's being able to get through trials and tribulations as a team. You take those lessons from team sports and use them in everyday life situations. I'm RJ Hawk. Please consider giving to Arkansas PBS Sports.
This broadcast is underwritten in part by
Centennial Bank supports communities across Arkansas and is a proud supporter of the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports, providing financial services since 1999. Member FDIC, more at my100bank.com.
The Bauxite Miners now seeing what they can do offensively as they come to the plate for the first time in this 4A state title game. It's going to start off with Zoe Hicks, the catcher for the Miners, KB Jacks, Emma King, Lexi Childress, MJ Birmingham, Avery Green, London Cunningham, Alicia Garner, and then, of course, who started in the circle, Bianca Batistone. And They had MJ as the designated player, Kyle. I wonder how much changes in their lineup now that she's in the circle, or if anything changes at all.
Yeah, they'll usually use her as either a DP or if she's not pitching, typically in the outfield a lot of different times. So her bat, we do know this, her bat's going to be in the lineup because along with Emma King, she's the most powerful one they have.
Zoe Hicks, the leadoff, batting .387 this season, has an on-base percentage of .508, trying to get things going for Bauxite and try to cut into this 4-0 lead that Peridge kicked things off with.
Throughout Boland's career, we've seen her work a lot of rise ball, but she's also worked on her arsenal this year with a great changeup, curveball. She's got a few that she can show to us.
Fouls that one back, Hicks does. Tell me more about Emery and just what she's been able to mean for this Peridge team in the circle.
I think more than anything, just her confidence in the circle. I still think back to that Gravett game where, I mean, the score wasn't incredible, like it wasn't a massive difference.
Hicks popping that up, foul, out of play. Gets another chance.
I think it was maybe like a 6-1 or something like that finish, but it was pretty obvious that day that Gravett just had the upper hand. But despite all the hits given up, she just stayed calm. And that's kind of like what I was saying about the T-Stone, and really just makes up a great pitcher was, yeah, obviously what they throw, the speeds, the control, but just the confidence that they show, the team really builds off that.
Emery Boland confident in the circle because she just hit a 2-run home run for her team at the top of the first, here battling against Zoe Hicks. That one a little inside for ball 2. Doesn't like that ball. I wouldn't either. Wants a new one. That one high. Got a full count now for Hicks, and
see if she goes with maybe a curve or a change here, just to kind of mix it up a little bit, see if she can't get that first strikeout.
There she goes, blows that one past her right down the middle. That's her first strikeout of the day, and Zoe Hicks going down swinging. That's going to bring up KB Jacks, the left fielder for the Miners, and she had a lot of action coming her way at the top of the first. Now in the batter's box to try to see if she can make something happen herself. She is averaging .333 with an on-base percentage of .402, but anything she can do to help this Bauxite team get on the base pass.
KB Jacks, she's played for Coach Maddie Rhodes for a long time. Obviously her career with Bauxite, but they actually won a World Series with the 8U team years ago. So
her and Emma King were both on that team for Coach Rhodes' first 8U softball tournament team. And you know you've got a good relationship, a close relationship, probably even more than just a coach.
That's right.
With Coach Rhodes when they've known you since you were 8.
And Coach Maddie comes from a very strong softball lineage. Her dad, Marty, coaches some travel teams as an assistant at Quitman. Her sister, Cassie, pitches at started at UCA, now pitches at Southern Arkansas. And their youngest sister is just finished up her junior career, Dakota Rhodes, that's going to go at Quitman, that's going to go play at CBC. So a lot of softball talks, I'm sure, at the Thanksgiving and Christmas tables during dinner.
I remember those days fondly, for sure. My dad was my coach, so it never ended. The strategy talk, the what would you do in this situation talk, the you're not hitting very well, you're dropping your shoulder talk. We heard it all at the dinner table. 0-2 count here on Jacks. And there is strike number 3 and strikeout number 2 for Emery. Here's a look at our defense and the lineup behind Emery. Haley Parker at third, Hope Conkle, Zaylee Warden and Ashlyn Short at first base, Lexi Vidrell, Haley Wiley and Paisley Tillman in the outfield, Mackenzie Whalen behind the plate catching for Emery Boland today for the Blackhawks.
Talked about just that's another sign of a great pitcher right there is when you have, I mentioned how Callie Cooper and Emery had been used to being that strong battery mate for a couple of years, and then Mackenzie Whalen, who also did catch some last year to kind of get her prepared for the future. It's just really been business as usual, and they picked right back up where they left off.
Well, here are our two players to watch battling against each other. Emma King steps up for Bauxite at the plate, going against Emery Bolin. And you said you might not want to see Emery Bolin in the circle, and you might not want to see Emma King at the batter's box. So this is going to be a fun matchup between these two.
I've seen Emma hit a lot out in person.
She's got 15 home runs on the season, averaging a .471 batting average and 57 RBI. No one to work with on the base pass right now, and an unfortunate, man, that's umpire behind the plate taking one. Watching the replay right on that inside of the thigh there. Ooh. Oh, well, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, Kyle.
Yeah,
I don't think that feels good.
No, I certainly feel that is really tough. Looks like he's just catching his breath and getting up, but that is really tough.
You let him take all the time he needs there. Let's take a break ourselves, and we'll be right back here with this 4A state title game between Peridge and Bauxite.
It's prime time on your time. Get more of your primetime favorites each weekday starting at 1:30 following our PBS Kids programs. Catch up on all the programs you love, including Exploring Arkansas, Nature, Antiques Roadshow, Arkansas Week, British Favorites, Mysteries, and more, beginning at 1:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. See the full schedule and all the ways to watch at myarkansaspbs.org/watch.
Want to see even more Arkansas stories? Subscribe to Arkansas PBS on YouTube for original productions, extras from your favorite local programs, behind-the-scenes videos, and our exclusive coverage of high school sports. All available on demand and all Arkansas made. Don't miss out on more great Arkansas stories. Subscribe now.
Welcome back, and we're still kind of giving everyone just a breather here after that incident with the home plate umpire. Hope he's okay. Hope he's doing well. Looks like he is, and so that's good news. UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine supports athletic programs and events across Arkansas. Clinics are located throughout Central and Northwest Arkansas. You can learn more at uamshealth.com. I think they're just over there just making sure, double, triple checking everyone feels good and everyone is okay before they start this game. And it's early, but Peridge right now looking good offensively, putting up those 4 runs in the top of the inning, but looking good defensively, and specifically in the circle because Emery Bolin has started things off with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what you would, man, just kind of not too shocked by that just because of the way that she has played this year. But while we've got a second here, let's recognize our umpires behind home plate. We've got Marcus Johnson, first base, Ricky Yeager, and then also at third base, Mark Thompson. So appreciate our officiating crew today.
Yes, we do. And it looks like Marcus Johnson's doing well. He's going to put the mask on again, I believe. Getting a round of applause there from the crowd. Tip of the cap to Marcus Johnson, and everybody's ready to go. So here we are, Emery Bolin stepping back into the circle, ready to go. And once again, we were talking about it, facing Emma King. Let's not take anything away about this matchup we're seeing right now between pitcher and hitter.
And I think everybody's, especially after that intro and seeing the players to watch it, this is the one that you always really take an extra focus on.
King gets hit, it looked like in the kneecap, trying to go inside to see if she could get her to swing, and instead Emma King standing on first base right now. The first base runner for Bauxite, and that's going to bring up Lexi Childress, the catcher right now for the Miners. And One of the things that Coach was telling us was that Childress has spent 3 years as one of their best first basemen in minor history, and now is a big leader behind the plate, making that move. And sometimes when you have an infielder who is so good at first base, it's hard to take them away from that position, but she has moved herself behind the plate to catch for this Lady Miners team, and it's worked out really well for her this year.
They describe her as their maintenance person, their game manager, whatever you want to call it, and that's what you love to see, especially from someone behind the dish, someone that knows the game, and per Coach Rhodes, she knows it like the back of her hand.
Well, offensively right now, Childress batting .323, swing and a miss there for strike one with a 1-1 count on her. She's got Emma King sitting at first base, hoping that her teammate can get a base hit and move her around. Strike two. The throw down to first just to keep Emma King honest down there. Don't want her creeping too far off of that base. 2 outs here for Bauxite, trying to see what they can do with the 1 out they have left. Swing and a miss, and it is strikeout, strikeout, strikeout for Emery Bolin. We head to the second as Peridge now back at the plate, seeing if they can add any more to this 4-0 lead.
I have some glad tidings to impart.
Whoa! Look at that!
I'm still surprised at how good I am.
Jane Austen was my sister.
I didn't think I would ever study medicine, but here I am.
Absolutely delicious, especially straight out of the oven.
I've never seen anything like this.
I think we have sufficient cause for celebration.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by...
Summerwood Sports Complex in Bryant features 4 courts across 2 gyms, located off Interstate 30, offering space for tournaments, practices, and training. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS. More at summerwoodsports.com.
Arkansas PBS Sports is supported by Wendy's. One of the menu choices is the Salted Caramel Frosty. Availability may vary by location. That sounds amazing right now, Kyle.
It does.
Might go get me one of those. Side of French fries. Welcome back. Good to be with you. Alyssa Orange here alongside Kyle Sutherland, and it is a 4-0 lead as Peridge here starts off the top of the second. MJ Birmingham still in the circle after relieving Bianca Batistone in the first. We are back to the top of the lineup for the Blackhawks. Lexi Vigil, who led it off in the first, leading it off here again in the second. She had that ball that went over the left fielder's head for a standing triple. Her first time at bat.
And as we said, it's really just about, just kind of learning from what happened in the first inning there and just keeping calm here and trying to, because I think it was, 6 batters that Peridge had before the Bauxite had even recorded an out. So, that they're one of those quick innings like Emery Bolin just had, 1, 2, 3 striking out the side.
From a confidence standpoint, I think that's what they'd like to do, just to go ahead and get back in that dugout, get back to their offense. Tries to lay that one down and pushes it back to the backstop. Second strike of the at-bat here. There's head coach for the Blackhawks, Josh Reynolds, and he's been a big part, Kyle, of the success that the Blackhawks team has seen over the last couple of years.
That's right, and he's been at Peridge his whole entire teaching, coaching career, 18, 19 years I think it is now, and so he's got a baseball background and obviously coached softball for a while, so really knows the game. He is really wanting to get one of those rings. He's had a lot of opportunities, and as we've mentioned, come up short in those.
He definitely has confidence that this team can be the team to bring back that hardware to Peridge up in Northwest Arkansas, where I reside. Ball 3, and it's another full count for Lexi Vigil. And we talked about this, her first at-bat. She battled against Batistone in the box and has drawn herself again a full count here. This one back to the pitcher. Birmingham, no problem, scooping it up, sending it over to first for London Cunningham, and that is the first out of the inning. One down for the Lady Miners.
That's just what we were talking about that you're looking for, just some soft contact there and right back to the pitcher.
Center fielder number 4, Haley
1-3 out.
Haley Wiley sending this one into left. KB Jacks takes care of that one for a quick out, number 2.
And that was one of the things that we saw really through the first couple of batters for Peridge there was those few that they hit in the gaps out into outfield. That one was also softly hit, and the outfield left fielder was able to just get under it.
Jacks playing out there, just not going to let anything over her head. Again, this game, Zaylee Warden steps in. She hit one back up the middle past Avery Green at shortstop, her first at bat. This one inside, ball 2. Pops this one up. Looks like it's going to stay into the field, and that will do it. London Cunningham gets the catch, and Bauxite gets that 1-2-3 inning they were hoping for, Kyle. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second, see if they can do anything offensively here to get on the board. We'll be right back from Conway after this.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
Austin City Limits celebrates 50 years.
Funk is something that takes you over.
A history that goes back to the spiritual.
Liza Minnelli. Being born into Hollywood royalty, Judy Garland and Vincent Minnelli, doesn't make you a superstar.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by
Everett Buick GMC provides vehicles to Arkansas families and supports local organizations. Community involvement has been part of our story for generations. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports. More at everettbgmc.com.
Experience the action all over again next week. Watch all the championship games on the PBS app anytime, just to relive some of this fun action that we have seen so far here at Shock Stadium on the campus of the University of Central Arkansas. We're in the bottom of the second. Bauxite, their second time at the plate, seeing if they can cut into this 4-0 Peridge lead. We're going to start things off here with MJ Birmingham, and we talked, Kyle, you mentioned, regardless if she's in the circle or not, her bat is in the lineup.
That's right, and they're always going to have her in there, regardless if she's just hitting only as a DP or in the outfield or in the circle. I mean, you got to have a bat like that, especially with the way that her and King, how they've been throughout their career.
Well, her numbers speak for themselves. She's got a .416 average, just below Emma King, to lead the team. 2 home runs and 36 RBIs. So that bat is valuable in this Lady Miners lineup as she looks at strike 2 here.
Bolin, it's hard to imagine. She's as great as a career that she's had overall. It's hard to imagine a better start than what she's had today between the 2-run home run and looking for her 3rd strikeout.
MJ popping this one up to Hope Conkler at short. She makes the catch, and that is out number 1 for the Blackhawks. And that's what we talked about at the beginning of the inning there for Bauxite's Maddie Rhodes. I'll get back to that in a minute. The head coach here, I mean, she feels really good about this team, and she has known a lot of these young ladies for a really long time, and that plays into the chemistry that this team has had all season long.
That's right. Had the ones that she got a lot of 3- and 4-year starters on the team, but just coaching them on the travel scene when they were younger, and so she's known about them, having been able to work with them all these years. And I do need to correct myself real quick. I said Emery's looking for her 3rd strikeout. She already got that in the other inning. She's actually looking through her 4th, so I do not want to shortchange her there.
She forgives you, I'm
No,
sure.
I'm sure she does.
But talking a little bit more about Emery, what we were talking about at the top of the first when they were having all that success early offensively, that just makes things so much easier for your pitcher in Emery and the defense. You get to play a little bit more relaxed because you do have a 4-0 lead right now early in this game. And she's pitching like it too, with so much confidence. A beautiful rise ball to get the strikeout, and that is strikeout number 4 on Avery Green for Emery Bolin, and a quick 1-2. And London Cunningham coming up to bat for the first time in this game to face Emery Bolin. And right now, Bauxite, they're just looking to put the bat on the ball. Pops this one up into foul territory, so she'll get another shot.
Probably a headache for somebody, or a potential headache for somebody in the stands.
Maybe they brought their glove. They could have caught that, Kyle. Come on.
Could have, or it got hit out. I mentioned it yesterday. I don't know if they're still giving out lollipops for return foul balls.
There you go, and that's exactly what they want to see happen. London Cunningham pushing this one into left center field. That is the first base hit of the day for the Lady Miners, and seeing if maybe they can string some of those together with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that's right. The game, as a young player, that was one that she took, as any freshman, sophomore it's going to take. They got to get adjusted to the speed of the varsity game, and really as this season has come along, she has been big for them and notches the first hit for the Lady Miners.
Alicia Garner stepping in, the right fielder here for the Lady Miners. 2 outs for her with London Cunningham at first. She looks at strike 1 against Emery Bolin. And there is strike 2. A beautiful pitch there by Bolin. Looked like it might have been a little inside, but just paints that corner there of the plate and freezes Garner in the box. And they're chasing for out number 3, strikeout number 5 for Bolin, and we are headed to the top of the 3rd. Peridge still with that 4-0 lead over the Lady Miners. As we get back, we've got Emery Bolin to lead things off.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
Some are born to adventure and others are not.
These are difficult times, Captain.
What may come between us?
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
You said that the house held secrets.
Have you discovered any dreadful revelations yet?
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
This broadcast is underwritten in part by...
For over 70 years, Farm Bureau Insurance has offered coverage for automobiles, homes, farms, and lives across Arkansas. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association. More at afbic.com.
Welcome back, the fans filling out the berm there behind the outfield here at Shock Stadium. Let's hit you with a trivia question. Maybe they might know the answer to this out there, but I'm going to test you, Kyle. Okay? Who holds the state record for most home runs hit in a career?
I'm going to guess Jolie Mitchell.
Why is that?
Well, because she had a phenomenal career, on top of her phenomenal career that just put up video game numbers at Rosebud. I know she was like a 600-plus career hitter. And I know she's probably in the top 5.
We'll see if you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's a bad answer. We'll see if you're right. We'll let you know here in just a little bit. Speaking of home runs, Emery Bolin hit her 3rd of her season in the first. Grounds out there to the shortstop for out number 1 for Bauxite. Mackenzie Whalen now up to bat, and she hit one into that left field corner her first time at bat in the first, as she faces MJ Birmingham again.
That's one of the things you really got to credit Birmingham for. It seems like once she has come in and you got the senior leader in the circle, that things have calmed down a lot for the Lady Miners.
Whalen past the second baseman, Kim Smith, and that is a base hit, her 2nd of the day today, to get a runner on for the Blackhawks here in the top of the 3rd. Hope Conkler coming to the plate, the shortstop for Peridge. She popped it up her first at bat. It was actually the first inning they recorded, the Lady Miners did, in that first inning. Now with an opportunity and a runner on here. Tries to lay down the bunt, and that one fouled back to Lexi Childress behind the plate.
Smart move to go with a little bit more small ball here, like we saw particularly in the first inning when they had scored all those 4 runs.
Trying to move the runner into scoring position here, but also using a little speed. Maybe she can get down the base paths and have 2 on here for the Blackhawks. Thinks about squaring around, but that one a little high, so she's got a 1-1 count on her now. Tries to lay that one down, right down the 3rd baseline. Emma King is there to clean it up, but that speed of Hope Conkler, she is safe at first, and now the Blackhawks with runners at 1st and 2nd, 1 out, and that was just perfectly placed there. Nothing Emma King could do about that one. She was in the right place when she needed to be. It's just the speed of Hope Conkler down that 1st base line. Nothing you could do there for Emma King, just a really well-executed bunt, and now that brings up Haley Parker.
Yeah, speed kills, and that's why they did it right there. You nailed it right on the head.
Another bunt right there, picked up by Childress. She is out at 1st this time, but that is going to advance her teammates to 3rd and 2nd, and so Parker does her job. Beautifully placed bunt there, but well executed by Childress to get the 2nd out of the inning.
Very well executed, because they knew that Emma King was already playing up close from her 3rd base spot, and now you've got those 2 runners in scoring position there, and I mean, it seems like that's pretty much, especially in the 1st and 3rd innings, now that Peridge has had runners living in scoring position.
So your designated player here, Abigail Rogers. She walked her first time at bat, an opportunity though now to bring in her teammates. Swing and a miss for strike number 1. Popping this one up. That one looks like it's going to be foul and out of play there. It is a beautiful day out at the ballpark from where we're sitting. Clear blue skies, a just a few clouds in the area. This is softball weather right here, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is the time of year when it's starting. I mean, it is early summer, so it should feel like that, but it's that time of year to where, we're hoping that we can dodge rain, but when we can get any sun for this, we're very thankful.
I just knocked on some wood for you so you don't jinx it, but
no,
yes.
I know. Well, that's why I made sure to say.
Those things pop out of nowhere.
Well,
so
that's why I tried to make sure to say that we're trying to dodge it, not that we are, because you want to make sure how you pick your words there.
A 1-2 count here on Rogers. That one a little high. Couldn't get Rogers to chase there. It's a 2-2 count. Fouls that one back again. Rogers once again. Runners at third and second for the Blackhawks. In scoring position to try to add to this 4-0 lead that they've got. 2 outs though, and Bauxite looking to just get out of this inning, avoid the damage. Swing and a miss, the first strikeout for the Lady Miners of the day, and it comes on a MJ Birmingham strike to Abigail Rogers to set down the inning. The threat is over, and it is still a 4-0 ball game in favor of Peridge. Bauxite up to bat once more as we head to the bottom of the third.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
We'll see how the Romans created beauty in both intimate and monumental ways.
The biggest lesson I've learned is that every destination, from a big city to a small village, has a soul.
Why are there goats on this town hall? There's got to be a connection. When did a king have dinner with imaginary friends? Wow.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Since 1937, the electric cooperatives of Arkansas have been providing power to homes, farms, and businesses across our state. The cooperatives are member-owned and work together to serve Arkansans. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas proudly support high school students and athletics in Arkansas and hope you enjoy watching the state championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports. Better connected together. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas.
Welcome back. We promised the answer to today's trivia question. Who holds the state record for the most home runs hit in a career? Hats off to you, Kyle. You got it right.
That was a guess.
Jolie Mitchell. Are you sure you didn't look at my paper?
I didn't. I actually didn't.
Okay. That memory of yours, pretty impressive. You were right. She played at Rosebud from 2016 to 1958 home runs is the record set by Jolie Mitchell.
Now trying to help the Texas Longhorns back to the College World Series. They're in a little bit of a hole right now, but in the Clemson Super Regional, or I guess, or in the Austin Super Regional against Clemson.
I did go to an ACC school, but I am not a pro ACC conference, so I'm not going to say who I want to win in that matchup, but I think I just said it.
I think I know that. I definitely don't have to look up the answer for that.
Reading between the lines. Context clues, context clues. I like it. Here we go in the bottom of the third here. Bauxite with Kim Smith up to bat. And that is another strikeout there for Emery Bolin. That brings us to the top of the lineup again for Bauxite. Still just one hit on the day.
Center fielder number 2,
Zoe Hicks.
Her rise ball is just really, I mean, that's her main pitch. And so, I mean, it's just really on today. You know, MJ, I mean, to give MJ credit in that last inning, too. I mean, she's really got hers working as well. So, up in the zone is really working for both of these pitchers.
Zoe Hicks taking that one foul on the left field side. She got herself into a full count before striking out her first at bat, but she came up swinging. She knows right now the biggest thing she can do is not let Emery Bolin get ahead in the count here. I like the aggressiveness. Pokes that one Oh, foul just over the base, but if that one would have dropped fair and into the left field corner, she could have been standing at second, but you can tell she has got her timing down a little bit. Maybe a little early there, Kyle, obviously with these 2 foul balls, but she's ready for what Emery's pitching to her.
That's right. It was right there toting the line and just couldn't push it a little bit. Needed a little bit of a wind gust back towards the center field and couldn't get it.
Sends this one into left center field, and what a catch there by Lexi Vidrell, laying out her body in left field. Little slow to get up there. Looks like she's trying to kind of shake that off, but I mean, I'm pretty sure she was parallel to the ground at one point in this catch.
And I'll tell you, Alyssa, that's something that Emery would be the first person to tell you is a big reason for her success. Obviously, her battery mate back there behind the plate, but also plays like that. The kids that just they lay out for balls like that and just really come up with plays like the SC top 10 type plays.
Lexi might need some water when she gets back in the dugout, but as a former outfielder, so much props for that play, and that's what you play out there for. I'm not going to lie, plays like that, and that is out number 2. An incredible catch there by Vidrell in left field. KB Jacks now at the plate, fouls that one back for her second strike. Play of the game so far right there, that catch by Vidrell. And that is strikeout number 7 for Boland. Sits down the side after that catch by Zoe Hicks. And right now it is all Peridge. 4-0 over Bauxite as we head to the 4th. We'll be right back from Conway after this.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
China, the new global superpower. The country that we all want to know about today.
They had to assert their rights.
If a lot of people put their mind to it, they can win.
Our goal is to make sure people don't think that our community is invisible anymore.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
UAMS is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS sports. UAMS Health provides orthopedic and sports medicine care across Arkansas, supporting athletes and teams throughout the state. Find out more at UAMShealth.com.
Congratulations to our 4A Arkansas PBS student all-star, senior Heber Springs shortstop pitcher Taylor Parker. She has a 4.02 GPA, plans to attend college at the University of Arkansas Honors College, then go to nursing school. Taylor Parker of Heber Springs, our 4A Arkansas PBS student all-star.
Congratulations to Taylor. Welcome back, everybody. It is a 4-0 lead right now for Peridge as they step into the box one more time offensively. With a 4-0 lead, as I mentioned, right now we've got Ashlyn Short.
Confidence is something that we keep touching on, and it's got to be an extreme boost of confidence for MJ to get out of that inning, leaving 2 runners in scoring position. See if she takes that into the 4th.
Fouling this one back. I've noticed this too, Kyle, as a softball player. I'm curious, and I'm going to find someone to ask about it. But the way that Ashlyn Short holds her bat with the gap between her hands. You know, you're taught growing up, now she's squared up to kind of draw that bunt, but pops this one onto the left foul territory. Caught there by KB Jacks for out number 1. I've always been curious. I've seen it lately. The gap there in the hold. We're going to get back to that, and maybe someone will answer my question, but I'm curious the thought process there with that one.
Lexi Vidrell.
Lexi Vigil, after laying her body out for that catch in the bottom of the third, now steps into the batter's box.
Now that she's caught her breath and had a little moment to regroup, she's ready to barrel the ball or possibly bunt it.
She's done a little bit of everything today. Hit one into left field and trying to do some small ball here potentially, but I think she wants to use that speed in any way that she can. The head coach for Bauxite there, Maddie Rhodes. Swing and a miss, and now it is 2 balls, 1 strike on Vigil.
MJ's done just a much better job of really locating her pitch. You saw when she first came in, a few were just a little bit wild, which again you expect. She came in probably a little bit sooner than she might expect. But
strike number 2. I think you're right. Also, too, when you've stepped into a position where your team is down 4-0 and you've got runners on first and second and then no outs, it's kind of hard to just settle in and focus. But that's her second strikeout of the, oh, I apologize. That one was fouled off. Looking for her second strikeout of the day. That one sent past Avery Green at short into left field, and that is the second base hit for Vigil on the day as she stands on first base. Still one out here in the top of the 4th. Haley Wiley now at bat, and
I think she still might be. Look at the way that she's
a
limping.
little bit,
I
the
think
way
she might
she's
still
running,
be
you can
feeling
tell.
it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
she's a little hurting over there after that catch.
She's gutting it out. I tell you,
she is.
You want to be able to stay in this game.
Yes, you do, and she has been quite the leadoff hitter for the Blackhawks. It looks like now she is going to get a pinch runner, and they might look at her to make sure she's okay. The pinch runner here for Peridge, number 6, Phelan Hand. Just a freshman Phelan step in here to run the bases for the Blackhawks.
Showing bunt again.
This one into right down the line. That's a base hit for Wiley, and now there are 2 on with 1 out for the Blackhawks, and just doing a really good job in this game offensively, being able to see the ball so well at the plate and string together some base hits.
And that's very similar to kind of how the third began. You know, they got a runner on, then got another. Of course, they bunted, the sack bunted, and then advanced them to second and third. So trying to do that again, or the Lady Blackhawks, and also trying to add a couple of more insurance runs to it.
Zaylee Warden up to bat here. Again, the second baseman. She squares around to maybe draw in those corner infielders, but not too much. Pulls back. Ball 1. A little high there for ball 2.
Right down the middle.
Here's a strike, and great hit there, but caught well by KB Jackson left, trying to double up Phelan Hand there at second, but she's able to get back in time with the throw just over the base. But that could have been very, very, very risky for Peridge there, because that would have ended the inning with a double play.
Huge there for
Great
Jackson.
catch by KB.
Yeah, to come down with that one, and as you said, it could have been trouble there for Peridge. She was about halfway or maybe even about 3/4 of the way to third base. Kept the runners from advancing, and then also for Peridge.
That's a teaching moment, I think, there for Josh Reynolds when they get back into the dugout. But, just a freshman, but you got to say, hey, you got to make sure they make the catch or not before you take off there on second base.
Love the aggression, though, for sure.
I do. Emery Bolin now stepping in. She hit that 2-run home run to help with this 4-0 lead that Peridge has in the first, but then grounded out her second time at bat, now facing MJ Birmingham again. That one dropped into left center field, not able to get that one up, and Emery clearing the bases there with a 2-run double. She is standing up at second base, and she has now given her team a 6-0 lead. And gosh, Kyle, she can do it in the circle. She can do it at the plate as well, right off the wall there in left center.
And have her day, Emery Bolin. What is it? She's 7 strikeouts in the circle, and then, of course, also the 2-run home run. Now the 2 RBI double. My word, she is just having a monster afternoon.
It's been fun to watch so far, that is for sure. And I think she will get a courtesy runner as well over there. Looks like Atlee Gain, a junior, stepping in to run for her pitcher, which I'm sure she does happily. But you're right, with Emery Bolin, she knew what was at stake here as a senior and her last game as a Blackhawk, wanting to bring home that first trophy to the program that she has done so much for, and she's doing everything she can right now, Kyle, to make it happen.
Yeah, it took a little bit of the wind out of the sails for Bauxite just because you had something working there. You were almost out of the inning. If, of course, with the near base running blunder from Peridge, but then Emery says, okay, well, got 2 outs here. Well, I'm going to knock a couple more in.
Well, you go back to that base running mistake on accident, line drive there to get out of the inning, but if you make that double play, Emery Bolin doesn't even come to the plate. It doesn't matter because she plates 2, and it now is a 6-0 lead for Peridge as we head to the bottom of the 4th. We'll be right back from Conway. Stick around.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
Meet the groundbreaking author Amy Tan.
I am a writer and tethered to the past.
I've been photographing Asian Americans in New York City for 50 years.
Who do you see? Corky Lee, taking pictures.
We don't quite feel home in Korea, and we don't quite feel home here in America.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
UAMS is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports. UAMS Health provides orthopedic and sports medicine care across Arkansas, supporting athletes and teams throughout the state. Find out more at UAMShealth.com.
Emma King, Lexi Childress, and MJ Birmingham gonna start things off for Bauxite here in the bottom of the 4th. A shout out to our camera crew here doing a great job of giving us all this beautiful shots and enjoyment so you can enjoy this game. Scaffolding support for this broadcast provided by In Kind by Legion Scaffolding. For more information, visit legionscaffolding.com.
Also, big shout out to our graphics team. You see at the very bottom right corner, the pitch count. That's something new that they've added. So always seems like adding new features every single year.
Another thing to just add to what Emery Bolin has done in this game. 7 strikeouts, a home run, a 2 RBI double, and oh, by the way, she here in the bottom of the 4th has only pitched 42 pitches. facing off against Emma King here for the second time, excuse me, and Emma King gets a hold of that one, sends it into left field for a base hit to start things off for Bauxite, and hoping that her teammates can help get a rally going and get this Lady Miners team on the board.
Yeah, that's right. Just one at a time, as we say, and just starting off with the lead. I think that is their first leadoff runner of the game, so really big there.
0-0, Lexi Childress.
Swing and a miss by Childress there for strike one. A little high there for ball one. And have you noticed there's these tattoos that this Lady Miners team has worn, and some of them have them on their arm, or some of them have them on their leg, or
I don't know if that's been I've seen it throughout
side?
I've seen that throughout the postseason. I don't know if that's been an all-year thing.
Kings.
But
I think even Coach Maddie Rhodes has one. I've noticed over these last couple of innings. There it is, those flames, just a cool little design tattoo that this entire team is wearing. That one high. That's going to allow Emma King to get to second base, and she almost is thrown out there on the attempt, but she is safe.
This is where you really had to capitalize your Bauxite here.
And that's what you're looking to do. Just capitalize on anything that you can right there. Able to keep that foot on the base to stay safe, and now you've got a runner in scoring position with no outs for Lexi Childress. Swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 8 for Bolin. One out now, and MJ Birmingham with her tattoo sleeve steps in to the batter's box. I like it. I want to get me one.
Yeah.
That is number 12, MJ Birmingham.
Yeah, I think I've even heard some people with how many home runs that they're known to hit between King and Birmingham. I think I've heard some people refer to them as the Bash sisters, and I know that she would love to send her Bash sister home on this one.
I'm sure she would, or maybe just bash one herself.
And bring them both
over the left field line or something, left field wall, and make it a 6-2 ball game. We'll see what she's got going on. Fouls that one down the right side for a 1-2 count now. I wonder if they put those tattoos on. If it's one big tattoo that you have to put on, or if it's in sections. I'm gonna find out. Okay.
I'll say this: as long as I guess they're those little ones that you just put the water and everything.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like that.
Yeah, and as long as there's no needles involved, that's my whole thing.
Okay. Well, of course I don't think there's any.
No,
needles
they're not
involved.
real.
This one
it's just those. Yeah.
is temporary. Swing and a miss. And that is another strikeout for Emery Bolin. And just when it feels like Bauxite might have something going, Emery Bolin has stayed steady in that circle. Gets the strikeout for out number 2.
Number 18, Avery Green.
Her high ball, he jumps. I mean, it's a little bit high there.
The shortstop, Avery Green, stepping in now, and she struck out her first time too, trying to see if she can get a base hit and drive in her teammate in scoring position right now and have some success here against Emery Bolin. It's a good pitch right down the middle for strike number 2.
That's something else about Bolin that I've kind of noticed throughout her career. There's been so many different times maybe she'll give off like a leadoff single or give up a hit or two here or there, but then she just seems to get right back settled in.
It's that senior experience she's leaning on right now, and her talent that she's leaning on right now, to where she just knows that she just needs to be steady, relaxed, rely on all of those things, experience and talent, and she's doing that right now. Popped up here to the right side of the field in foul territory, but good enough there for Ashlyn Short to catch, and that is going to end the inning and the Threads. They leave Emma King stranded on second base, and we head to the top of the 5th. And I hear we got a special guest joining us.
What the word on the street
back.
is.
Stick around.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
My hope is it goes from being a fatal disease to a chronic disease that you can live with.
Menopause is the one universal female experience.
Cancer was deeply feared at this time. It was essentially a death sentence.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Winrock Automotive supports Arkansas athletes as a sponsor of the Arkansas PBS Sports broadcast of the High School State Championship games, with 7 dealerships across the state serving Little Rock, Conway, and Jonesboro. Winrock Automotive is community-focused and provides vehicle sales and service across Arkansas. We're honored to be a part of these unforgettable moments celebrating Arkansas student athletes. Winrock Automotive, connecting communities through service and support.
Welcome back, and as I mentioned and promised before the break, we have a special guest joining us here in the booth. We have Sandy Searcy, and Sandy is here from the NFHS. You're the Director of Sports, and welcome first and foremost to Conway, Arkansas. You've been around the entire country watching sports, watching softball. What do you think of Arkansas so far?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Just there are multiple things. The umpires, their training is amazing. The administration, what Lance Taylor and Steve Roberts have done with the softball side of it, as well as Don Brodell, every single facet of this tournament is just like clockwork. It's machine organized, and any kind of issue is identified and taken care of before it becomes a huge issue. So it's pretty amazing to watch.
We've had a lot of fun over these last couple of days with softball, but we also got to experience something for the very first time in the replay, having the opportunity to be the first in the country to debut that. It was used yesterday in the game. How do you think it went for the first time?
Again, like clockwork.
Okay.
I was with Steve as he oriented the umpires and the coaches, and he had very specific instructions, and he was very organized. In fact, I've got the data collection sheet right here. Part of the process of conducting an experiment is being able to gather data for our rules committee to take a look at and see if this is a positive thing, a negative thing, something that we should allow or permit by state association adoption, and that's kind of what we're looking at with both softball with the rules committee that I work with, but also the baseball rules committee. So this data collection is very important, and we weren't sure that we were going to be able to see it, so we were all very excited. I was sitting out in the outfield. I said, oh my goodness, we've got an appeal. So it was very exciting, and they collected some good information. And again, this is a 3-year process, so anything out of all of these games, as far as the appeals and data collection is a positive, and so far so good.
If you weren't watching, it was in the Benton-Sheridan game last night. They used it in that final inning. And it was great. Why do you think that that's an important new element to potentially add to the game?
Well, first I have to say that Arkansas is probably one of the only states in the country who could pull this off at this time, as far as the broadcast and the production and 7 angles of camera and all of the organization that went on behind the scenes. I think at this point there are very few states who could carry this. But as far as making sure that everybody feels that the right decision was made, that's a positive. We certainly don't want cameras to take over the entire 7 innings, but that's why this experiment is tailored. It's very finite as far as what is allowed to be appealed. And I think that's the most important thing. We're not asking for appeals for all those calls, but it was tailored to make sure it was on bases. It wasn't anything as far as judgment call or pitches or that kind of thing. So that's why that's important. It can help make certain that everybody feels, coaches, athletes, parents, feel comfortable with the calls that were made.
Well, it was an honor to be able to be that experimental venue for you guys, and hopefully we're giving you guys the kind of data that you want. We've had some really great softball so far, as you see right now. Peridge 6-0 against Bauxite, and hopefully you get to enjoy some more softball while your time is here. We have a few more games left.
So I ran into the studio because I was right in front of that outfielder that made that amazing catch.
Yeah.
I saw her get up a little bit slowly, but amazing softball, absolutely.
Couldn't ask for a better venue as well at UCA. I have to tell, I played too. We never played on fields like this.
No.
These beautiful turf fields.
No.
They got it pretty good. They got it pretty good out there. What's next in this process? What's next for you as you continue to travel?
Well, we have a rules committee meeting scheduled 2 weeks from today, and this is one of the things that we're going to talk about. But basically, we take proposals from all over the country, from state associations all over the country, as well as from committee members. We put them on an agenda. We give state associations an opportunity to weigh in and say whether this is a positive rule change, potential rule change or not. And then the committee meets, and we spend 3 days discussing not only the proposals, but the things that are happening across the country. We just had a preparatory meeting about 5 days ago with state administrators and rule interpreters from across the country. And this is one of the things that they discussed. We also talked about one-way communication between coach and defense. Mm-hmm. In addition to coach and catcher, coach and pitcher, everything's in play here. And we have 4 proposals addressing that. Every little bit of obstruction, questions about that, some uniform things, but really the communication piece, it seems to be the biggest issue, although we're not seeing it at the high school level, coach to catcher too much at this point. So does that warrant spreading it out, or I'm not sure.
We'll see. It's always a discussion to have, and technology is advancing sports so much, specifically in college, but it's really good to see it at that high school level too, to advance this game on all levels, and technology
For sure.
a big part of that. Sandy Searcy here, the Director of Sports for the NFHS. Thank you so much for joining us. Really enjoy the time. I know your time is valuable, so thanks for spending it with us.
Well, I'm sorry to be a little sweaty because I
No,
ran
that's
from
okay.
that field over here, and it's like, I've got to make this interview. So I'm glad that you allowed me to talk a little bit about it. Really thrilled to be here, and boy, you guys run a first-class operation.
Well, thank you so much. They make us look good. They're the pros behind the scenes with the cameras, the setup, the whole 9 yards here. We just get to enjoy it from the broadcast booth. So those are the real true MVPs of the entire tournament. We thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let's get back to the game. Again, Peridge up right now 6-0 over Bauxite, and I think you mentioned Lexi Vigil and that catch. Is that who's up to the plate right now, Kyle? It looks like it.
I believe so.
Number 2. Yeah, it is Lexi, and so, again, she's still in it. We saw a pinch runner come in for her after that first hit that she had that last inning, but she's still battling, and you can kind of tell she's battling through a little bit, but 2 outs now, 2 on for Vigil.
Very similar position that Birmingham has been in. Once again, I think this is the 3rd consecutive, because she got the 3 up, 3 down in the 2nd inning. And ever since then, Peridge has been able to get a couple of runners on.
We've talked about this throughout this game, but just finding so much offensive success, and Vigil there sending it line drive to short, an easy catch there for Avery Green. That ends the inning, and no damage done for Peridge. Bauxite still, though, looking for their first run of the game, and it's starting to get down to the wire there. Maddie Rhodes giving her team a pep talk as they get ready to get at bat next. After the break, we head to the bottom of the 5th.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
My hope is it goes from being a fatal disease to a chronic disease that you can live with.
Menopause is the one universal female experience.
Cancer was deeply feared at this time. It was essentially a death sentence.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
This broadcast is underwritten in part by
Centennial Bank supports communities across Arkansas and is a proud supporter of the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports, providing financial services since 1999. Member FDIC. More at my100bank.com.
Look at some of the highlights from the game so far. See, of course, Peridge up 6-0 here as we are in the 5th inning. Just looking at the recaps, Emery Bolin dealing in the circle. And also, too, this is her 2-out. Yeah, there it is right there, her 2-out, 2 RBI double. Of course, she has been a major part of 4 of the runs scored here with a 2-run home run and that 2-run that 2 RBI double that she had in the 4th inning, Alyssa.
A really impressive day for Emery Bolin as she steps back into the circle here in the bottom of the 5th. She's got 9 strikeouts and just 57 pitches today in her 4 innings of work so far. She gets ready to step in and face London Cunningham. That one popped up into foul territory, but caught by Ashlyn Short for out number 1.
Look out right there. Still fairly low pitch count.
Very low pitch count. And again, Bauxite just trying to get something going here. You mentioned that hit that Emma King had. The last inning was the first leadoff hit that they had. This one by Alicia Garner pumped up into center field. Easy catch for Haley Wiley out there, and that's a quick 1-2.
Number 32, Kim Smith.
Second baseman Kim Smith now up to bat, and Bauxite's running out of opportunities, Kyle.
Yeah, that's one we've touched on, chipping away and all this, and that's what you still certainly have to do here. Is they're looking at 2 outs on a 0-1 count, but definitely got to start pushing some across. They've had a couple in scoring position, just have not been able to scratch any across.
Swing and a miss there by Kim. And another thing too, we talked about this in other games, and when you look at how Emery Bolin has had so much success, it also, on the other side, this is just the 2nd time that Kim Smith has faced her. So it's really hard to get any kind of timing or rhythm down against a pitcher that you're not seeing very frequently in a game. And here we are in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, turned the lineup, basically went through the entire lineup. Did Peridge, they batted around there to start off, and so they've had a little bit more opportunity, of course, to, really got on Batistone right on there early, and then since then they've had plenty of chances to see MJ Birmingham, and it has not been the case for the other side.
Still a 1-2 count for Smith, who's looking to try to get a 2-out rally going. That one sails on Bolin, but no damage done there with no one on the base paths. 2-2. This one fouled into the stands, behind the stands, more accurately. I'm sure someone's going to run that down. Sandy mentioned why Arkansas was able to do what they did, and we'll talk more about it here in the 6th, as that is another strikeout for Bolin, and Peridge still on top right now, 6-0, and we've got 2 more innings to play here before we crown a 4A state champion. Stick with us. We will be right back from Shock Stadium.
For more than 50 years, Arkansas PBS has been a trusted resource. Our high-quality programs are seen by viewers in every corner of our state, making on-air sponsorship a solid investment. Aligning your business with Arkansas PBS offers a powerful blend of community engagement, corporate philanthropy, and cause marketing. And our viewers remember and appreciate businesses that support our programs. Contact us today for more information on sponsorship opportunities.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by...
Summerwood Sports Complex in Bryant features 4 courts across 2 gyms, located off Interstate 30, offering space for tournaments, practices, and training. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS. More at summerwoodsports.com.
Get your free live action photos from the game at myarpbs.org/photos. These are great championship keepsakes. Why can I not say that? There are some words, Kyle, that I just can't say. These are great memorabilia from the game.
There you go.
That you can cherish and look at as much as you want to. Visit myarpbs.org/photos. Here we are in the top of the 6 as MJ Birmingham gets ready to face the top of the order here, or my apologies, the second batter in the lineup here for Peridge in Haley Wiley, the center fielder. That one popped up there to London Cunningham. An easy catch for her at first and an easy out number 1 for the Blackhawks. And that's what they want. You said it a few innings ago. See if they can get themselves a quick 1-2-3 inning and get back and see if they can try to put together a rally, Kyle.
That's right. And these corner infielders have been between Emma King and also London Cunningham. They've both been real busy, but have recorded a lot of outs.
They have. This is Zaylee Warden now up to bat and sends that one foul down the left field line. She pops this one up. It looks like this one is a easy catch there for Kim Smith at second base, and that is the second out of the inning. Emery Bolin coming up to bat, and we have talked so much about her, and it's hard not to, Kyle, with the kind of day that she has had, and they know exactly what to expect here from the senior pitcher. And so you could kind of see the Bauxite outfielders backing up a little bit. They're not going to let anything sail over their heads.
Just one of them went over the wall and another hit it.
This one just off the glove of Avery Green into center field, and that is a base hit, and that is just indicative of the day that Emery Bolin is having. It doesn't matter. She is able to find success inside the circle at the plate, and the irony, Kyle, right now of the stadium playing unstoppable. That's exactly what Emery Bolin has seemed to be today.
Yeah, they're on it in the press box there. Now 3 for 4 on the day, 4 RBI.
Catcher number 8, Mackenzie Whalen.
Oh, and can't forget the 10 strikeouts in the circle. Just allowed 2 hits only and walked 1.
Mackenzie Whalen now at the plate, and she sends this one over KB Jax's head in left field. Emery Bolin's going to stop at third. That's a standing double for Mackenzie Whalen, and just like that again with 2 outs, Peridge just finding that success continue offensively, and they've got 2 runners in scoring position.
And let's see if MJ, I mean, this is about, seems like actually it doesn't seem like it is, the 3rd inning in a row that she's either had runners on first and second or 2 in scoring position on second and third. And really, other than that 2 RBI double from Bolin in the 4th, she's gotten out of it. So let's see if she can escape this one.
It's Hope Conkler's opportunity now to see if she can bring in her teammates and extend this lead for Peridge as we get closer and closer to the end of this game, just trying to separate themselves and come home with a title, their first for the program. Looks at ball one there, got a 1-1 count now.
I'll tell you though, it's kind of going back to Bolin here. She's not going to have a whole lot of adjustment playing on this field when she gets to college, having played on it, 3 times already in a state championship, and really closing out the final game of her high school career on an extremely high note.
She is, and this one popped up to short. An easy catch for Avery Green to end the inning. No more damage done, but the Blackhawks now have 6 outs to use before this one is over, trying to see if they can get something going offensively. Emery Bolin trying to see if she can close things out for her team. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th from Conway after this. Stick around.
It's prime time on your time. Get more of your primetime favorites each weekday starting at 1:30 following our PBS Kids programs. Catch up on all the programs you love, including Exploring Arkansas, Nature, Antiques Roadshow, Arkansas Week, British Favorites, Mysteries, and more, beginning at 1:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. See the full schedule and all the ways to watch at myarkansaspbs.org/watch.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by
Everett Buick GMC provides vehicles to Arkansas families and supports local organizations. Community involvement has been part of our story for generations. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports. More at everettbgmc.com.
Get all the latest information from Arkansas PBS. All you have to do is visit myarpbs.org/sign up. There you can get all the information you want and updates. And specifically, if you're a big sports fan, ARPBS Sports is where it's at. And happy to be able to carry these high school state championships for all of you guys to watch at home. It's been a privilege as we now enter the bottom of the 6th. Bauxite here, a great catch. Oh, what a catch there by Haley Parker at third base, which I thought that was a great hit by Zoe Hicks.
Really great presence of mind right there. That was a laser right to her towards the first out. 50 strikes on 66 pitches from Bolin.
So impressive. KB Jacks at the plate now. And that's just something for Zoe Hicks. She made great contact, line drive right down the line. I mean, if that got past Parker, that was probably going into the corner and you're looking at a double, but Parker able to just quickly snag that out of the air.
You think about plays like that, you think about the one that we had in left field earlier. It's just, you think when you get something to hit from Bolin, which hasn't been very often, you've had just great plays in the field from the defense.
Exactly. This one popped up. Foul. Put it in play there to shortstop. Conkler to short for out number 2, and Peridge all smiles there as they give that ball back to their pitcher and high five Emery Bolin, knowing that they're getting close, Kyle.
They're starting, of course, they know, being in the position that they were, not to get too far ahead here, but going into the bottom of the 7th last year, they know that this is not over until the final out.
Emma King gets a hold of that one. Just goes foul into the left field corner, but she was ready for that one the minute it came out of Bolin's hand. And again, King just doing anything she can to help out her team today. She understands the platform that she has to help lead this team. That's a sign that she's ready for anything that Boland's going to pitch at her right now with these 2 foul balls down the left field line, and they are well hit line drives.
Right past those trees back behind the berm there. Walk a little bit further and you'll run into the business building for UCA, and that's where she is trying to land one right on top of that roof.
That one fouled back and caught by Mackenzie Whalen behind, and that is out number 3 for Peridge. A 1-2-3 inning for the Blackhawks. They will come up to bat for the final time today in this 4A state title game as we head to the top of the 7th.
Join the ranks of corporate sponsors and business partners at Arkansas PBS. Your support will shine a light on your business with recognition on air and at major community events like Family Day. Plus, our viewers love the businesses that underwrite their favorite programs. Showcase your company while making a meaningful impact on lifelong learning. Partner with Arkansas PBS to build a brighter future for our state.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by...
For over 70 years, Farm Bureau Insurance has offered coverage for automobiles, homes, farms, and lives across Arkansas. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association. More at afbic.com.
Arkansas PBS is the home for high school sports. If you love seeing these high school sports championships live and also on demand, please consider making a gift to Arkansas PBS today. You want that information just here on the screen. We'll show you exactly how you can donate to Arkansas PBS. Those donations so appreciated so that we can bring you coverage like we're doing today, Kyle, in all of these state championship games.
Yeah, that's right. Love the folks at Arkansas PBS long before I was able to work for them. And I watched a lot of the programs, too, as a kid. So enjoyed sports and all their great programs.
So here we are, top of the 7th, and Haley Parker up to bat for Peridge. They've got a nice 6-0 lead right now as they're looking for their first state title, but this game is far from over. A 1-1 count. I say it's far from over because, as you mentioned, they were right here in this situation a season ago against Farmington, down 6-0 in the 7th. That one's going to drop for a base hit in shallow left center.
Really had a knack for just hitting them in the right spots there and all the gaps. Saw at the very beginning of the game, got off to that hot start, and just continued that trend.
They're not really laying back right now with this 6-0 lead because, like I said,
they know nothing is safe.
They know exactly what this situation looked like for them a season ago, with an opportunity to come back and win that game against Farmington, eventually falling 6-5. So you can't get comfortable at all in this game.
Well, that's just going back to the whole confidence thing. That's as many runners, because that's the whole deal too that I was pointing at too, Alyssa, was Peridge has left 9 on base. And so, you know, if you're Birmingham, yeah, they're getting 1 on here, maybe even 2, but she's been able to get out of it. It's just they've not been able to get any consistent offense, have the mileage.
Abigail Rogers lays down that bunt there and picked up cleanly by Emma King for the out, for the first out of the inning. Now you've got Haley Parker standing at second base, 1 out, with Ashlyn Short coming to the plate.
Number 9, Ashlyn Short.
I think Emma King pretty much for this whole entire game, and they've continued to play small ball. I mean, she's almost right up there in the batter's box.
I think that has a lot to do with just her senior experience there, playing third. And as you watch from where we're seeing, I know you can't see it right now on the screen, but she quickly is moving right there down that third base line, able to adjust quickly to what she thinks the batter is going to do, and that's why she's been right there to gobble up some of those bunts that have come right down that third base line. It's a 2-1 count now on Ashlyn Short with 1 out and a runner in scoring position for the Blackhawks. Tries to lay that one down, but it goes foul. Emma King was ready for it too.
Yeah, she's been real busy. I mentioned it in the previous inning. Both of these corner infielders have had a very busy day.
Slaps that one just foul down the left field line. Continuing to battle in the box is Ashlyn Short. She's got a 2-2 count on her now. She's trying. She continues to get it a little further and further down that left field line, trying to pop it over Emma King's head.
Coach Reynolds in the third base box there. I think he's going to try to stand back a little bit, make sure nothing gets too close to him.
Yeah, he's a little heads up down there. She keeps doing it. She's just trying to poke it there into shallow left field, battling here for the Blackhawks in the top of the 7th. And you're right, we might cut over and see Coach Reynolds in that Bauxite dugout if he's not careful.
Yeah.
Here are some of the stats today for MJ Birmingham, who came into this game in the first inning. That one bounces off Avery Green at short, and after that battle at the plate, she is safe. Ashlyn Short with a base hit, standing at first, and now there are runners on the corners for the top of the lineup, and Lexi Vigil coming back up. But I mentioned the stats today for MJ Birmingham, 112 pitches today, facing 32 batters, striking out just one of them, Kyle, but she has battled in the circle, and I don't think you could ask for more for her today.
That's right. You know, Bauxite has gotten their hits. They're doing what they do. They've got 13 on the day, but also has gotten a lot of soft contact.
Well, that was a line drive to Avery Green and a heads-up play because it just caught Ashlyn Short off guard a little bit, able to double her up at first, and that ends the inning. So here we go, the bottom of the 6th. It is a 6-0 lead, and Bauxite's going to have to find something, dig down deep, and see if they can rally here in the bottom with their final 3 outs of this 4A state title game.
1, 2, 3.
A change is happening.
Let the groove take over.
Which is perfect.
The age of discovery is now.
When you hear it, you know what it is.
I am quite overwhelmed.
It's a joy to be in this world.
This broadcast is underwritten in part by
Centennial Bank supports communities across Arkansas and is a proud supporter of the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports, providing financial services since 1999. Member FDIC. More at my100bank.com.
It is the final opportunity for the Bauxite Lady Miners to see if they can do anything here in the bottom of the 7th and make themselves a comeback win over Peridge with a 6-0 lead right now. 3 outs to work with. Emery Bolin in the circle for Peridge, and this one, we'll see. I have a feeling, Kyle, that it's going to be a little, maybe an interesting bottom of the 7th.
I always,
it just gives that sense.
Well, and one thing I always, and I've talked about this many times, like throughout the years, I'm not a big fan of looking at history and thinking like, okay, this is what's going to happen. But at the same time, too, it also teaches you some things, that to never think that anything is over until it actually is over. And if I'm Coach Reynolds, I'm telling my guys on that break there before Emery and the defense came back out, simply finish. And obviously if you're Bauxite, you've really got, I mean, you have to get something going right here or it's over. But Peridge was proof last year that you can make a comeback even in this big of a deficit.
Lexi Childress here, hoping that she can be the start of a rally for her team. A 2-1 count, ahead in the count against Emery Bolin. And right now for Emery, too, we talked about MJ Birmingham's pitch count. Just 74 pitches for Emery in the circle today and 11 strikeouts. That one sent high and deep into left field, but foul, and an easy catch there for Lexi Vigil for out number 1.
It's good to see Vigil back in the game. Of course, after she made that incredible catch, she batted soon after and had to come out in favor of a pinch runner just to kind of regroup herself. But good to go, and glad to see her finish this one out.
I am too, and she probably just tweaked something a little bit, land her body out like that, but you knew it was going to take a lot more to get her out of this game.
That's right, and I'm sure she's going to have a sore rib or two in the morning if they're not already, but she's got a gold trophy there to look at. I think it's going to be all right.
If she does, I think you're absolutely right. MJ Birmingham up to bat now. Watch this. Ball 2, so a 2-0 count. Sends this one off the glove of Haley Parker at third. A line drive, well hit ball, and MJ is standing at first.
One pitch at a time, and that's all you can do right now. And got one on with one out.
They're going to send in a pinch runner there for Birmingham. Gets a high five from her teammate. She did her job to see if she can get something going. And
going back to those tattoos, I just now noticed Coach Rhodes has got the
got
leg and the arm.
That's what I was saying. Everyone's got one.
I noticed that she had one on the arm earlier. I didn't realize she had one, like basically the full sleeve on the leg too.
So Avery Green up to bat with one on, one out. Swings at that first strike down the middle.
That was number 18, Avery Green.
This one popped up. And Mackenzie Whalen able to make the catch for Peridge. That is the second out of the inning. And right now, Peridge 1 out away from their very first state title. We talked about how they were here last year, tried to have a rally in the bottom of the 7th and came up short. They were also here in 2023 and 2021, but
10, London,
one more out away from bringing back some hardware to Peridge. London Cunningham trying to see if she can extend this game just a little bit longer. Gets hit by that pitch, and now there are 2 on, 2 out for Alicia Garner.
They'll take any free passes.
33, Alyssa Garner.
Garner struck out and popped up in her 2 at-bats against Bolin today. Watches that ball low and inside. Swing and a miss. Now a 1-1 count.
She goes back to that rise ball.
Hard to lay off. So now, one strike away is Emory Bolin and this Peridge team from their very first state championship. And that is going to do it. How fitting, Emory Bolin having that final strikeout to end this game as she gets a hug from her catcher, Mackenzie Whalen. She is the MVP of this game for what she was able to accomplish inside the circle and at the plate, but most importantly, her and her teammates are going back to Peridge as state champions. Congratulations to the Blackhawks, their first state championship for this softball program. Well-fought battle here, a 6-0 win, and we'll be right back after this for the trophy ceremony.
From the lessons that shape our children's futures to the stories that unite our communities, the impact of Arkansas PBS is undeniable. We give a voice to local news, art, history, and culture. Now more than ever, we need your help to keep this voice strong. Please help us to keep good going by making a gift of any amount to show your support for Arkansas PBS. Visit myarpbs.org/keepgoodgoing. Thank you.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by...
Summerwood Sports Complex in Bryant features 4 courts across 2 gyms, located off Interstate 30, offering space for tournaments, practices, and training. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS. More at summerwoodsports.com.
I love it.
We're on the precipice of a great discovery.
I love it. Welcome.
Whoa, Nelly. Let's set this palace
On fire.
I love it.
Welcome to the News Hour.
What does it mean politically?
I love it.
Oh.
Fasten your seatbelt.
I love it.
I love it.
Delighted to hear it. You make a good team.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by...
Everett Buick GMC provides vehicles to Arkansas families and supports local organizations. Community involvement has been part of our story for generations. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports. More at everettbgmc.com.
Want to see even more Arkansas stories? Subscribe to Arkansas PBS on YouTube for original productions, extras from your favorite local programs, behind-the-scenes videos, and our exclusive coverage of high school sports. All available on demand and all Arkansas made. Don't miss out on more great Arkansas stories. Subscribe now.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by...
For over 70 years, Farm Bureau Insurance has offered coverage for automobiles, homes, farms, and lives across Arkansas. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association. More at afbic.com.
A 25-11 season, something to hang your hat on for the Bauxite Lady Miners. They're the runners-up in this 4A state title game, but still a great season for Emma King and the rest of that team, and such a performance from NJ Birmingham there in the circle. She holds that runner-up trophy, but the celebration on the other side of the field, the Peridge Blackhawks, their first state title, a big-time congratulations to them. And Kyle, you know, a lot had to do with what Emory Bolin was able to do in the circle, but her offense around her as well. She had a home run, she had some doubles and RBI, but 1 through 9 offensively, they were able to get things done.
That's exactly right. And I think the first thing that I noticed was just the fact that as soon as she got that last strikeout, if there's any kid in the state that could just jump up and down, and it's her for all the times that they came up short. But she was just calm as she always is, and her teammates all surrounded her because they knew how big she was to this championship. So really big statement there by the Peridge Blackhawks.
You're seeing Emery Emery Bolin right there in the circle with the strikeout. She had 11 on the day. She also did it with her bat. This right here is her 2-run RBI. She also had a 2-run home run to help get those 6 runs on the board for the Blackhawks. And here in the 5th inning, just hit after hit after hit. And this is what we talked about offensively. They just came to play today. It was almost like they were seeing this softball like a beach ball, the way they were able to make contact and have those hits land where they wanted to. And that is the final out in strikeout fashion for Peridge. And they're going home champions. They're excited about that piece of hardware they have there to carry. And of course, if you want to rejoice in their championship as well, the official championship apparel and memorabilia for the season are available at ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com. Again, that's ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com to celebrate with any kind of championship apparel and memorabilia you would like for this 4-H state title game for Peridge. It has been a pleasure to be able to call this one alongside Kyle Sutherland. Thanks so much for joining me, buddy.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun for sure. We got much more fun coming up for you later on this afternoon. The 4A state baseball finals between Brooklyn and Harding Academy is on deck. That is next. So take a break, go get yourself a snack and settle back in for some more baseball action as we continue to crown champions here in Conway.